and some snake fruit. Now, the light's not wonderful up here. Let me show you where I am. On top of my hotel here. I'm not going to say the name of the hotel, but there's a pool. Apparently we can use it 24 hours, which is pretty cool. And there's this big green patch that's not real green. We have a Komodo dragon there with a love heart. We have the lighthouse that we painted this morning. See, it's working, it's operational. We have the marina of Lubran Baja. I can never say this right. And then we have more of the marina, lots of boats out there. So this is a really nice view out here. Really nice view. So anyway, let's have some bintang and let's have some snake fruit. I need something to prop the phone up, otherwise we could run the risk of dropping the phone, which we don't want to do. Let's use the bintang as our... There we go, we can use the bintang as our... There we go. I'm dying for some snake fruit. Okay, let's clean our hands first. Because who knows where my hands have been, right? Touching money, you know, all the things. All right, yum, yum. I love snake fruit. So snake fruit is salak in Bahasa, Indonesian. Salak is only grown in Indonesia, which is really interesting because I've got to say, I wish it was grown in Australia. Actually, I'm going to try to get a plant and see if I can grow it in Australia, guys, because I love this stuff. Love it. So you got to peel the snake skin off it first. Let's put it back in the rubbish bag. So, as I said, it's snaky skin out the outside. Peel that off, and then you've got little things in the middle, like little surprises. Break them off. Little sacks. But then you've got to rub the skin off. There's just a little bit of skin on there. Like skin, like really like skin. Like skin. See? It's like skin, literally like skin. Okay, now I don't know if I got, which one I got, because salak, there's many different varieties of salak. They all look the same, similar, but inside they're different. Now I'm gonna guess, I reckon this one might be salak barley. Just why I think that is because salak gula, which is salak sugar, is more whiter. I don't know, I'm not sure. So it's got a little stone inside. You can't eat that. I don't think this is salak gula, and I don't think this is salak barley either. I don't know. There's lots of different varieties. So tasty. I'm quietly obsessed with them. So I've been in Indonesia traveling. By the way, I'm Dora and I'm from Australia, but I'm half Indonesian. I know the light's not wonderful. I probably need a filter on or something like that. Like I use filters. Like I care. I've been in Indonesia for nearly 3 weeks. For 2 weeks I was in Bali. And I pretty much stayed in one area, like the Sana Kuta Legian Semiak, which, you know, is good or bad. I think it's good because I just really wanted to chill, to be honest. Then I flew an hour away to the island of Flores on the east side of Indonesia. Can I just say, these are amazing. Salak. Can you hear that noise? I don't know what the hell it is. It's like a bird sound. I think there's something, like someone's got pigeons or something on their roof. I don't hear it through the day. This is where you come up and have breakfast in the morning too. I've got to say, I've really enjoyed this hotel. I'm really, really glad that my first hotel I went to, I couldn't lock the doors. Literally, the balcony, I wanted a view. I really wanted a view. And I got a view, but the balcony door didn't lock. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to sleep if I'm a bit worried that, someone could come through the balcony. So I got my money back. And while I was at that hotel, they showed me the room upstairs on the 3rd floor, and it had the same problem. The balcony didn't lock. But when I was on the 3rd floor, I looked down and I saw that there's a pool. Like, there's a pool. It's only like a little pool, but there's a pool on a roof. And I went, that's all right. So I got my money back and walked down here, and they charged me the same amount. So I was like, you know what? Take my money. I booked 2 nights straight away. I dumped my bag and went straight out for a swim. All right. So we have a Bintang beer. This is a Redler. It's lemon flavour. It's only a 2% beer. It tastes amazing, guys. I'm not joking. It tastes amazing. I really, really like it. So anyway, look, I'm not expecting a lot of people to come online because it is a bit of a weird time. It is 8 o'clock in Indonesia, and that means it is 10 o'clock in Australia. Well, in Brisbane. In Sydney and Victoria, it's like 11 o'clock. That's like everyone's asleep. And then the UK is kind of like the start of their day. They're at work. And then in America, they're all just waking up. Or just going to work. So I don't expect people to come online, but I thought it might be an opportunity to see if I could find some new subscribers, have a chat to someone. Maybe someone would find me interesting. Or maybe I'd just sit here and talk to myself, which, I'm not opposed to doing. Oh, shit. I'm not opposed to doing. Can I just say, had an interesting day. Why have you had an interesting day, Dora? Because I've been in a bit of a mood. What I mean by that is, had the best day yesterday. When you've had a really, really good travel day, you've seen some amazing things. I saw a Komodo dragon, like a real dinosaur thing. They are the freakiest things ever, really. I've only ever seen one in a zoo, and they don't count. So I swear I could hear people. They don't count because zoo, they're wild, right? They're caged up. So, I saw a Komodo dragon. I went to this beach that had pink sand. No joke, pink sand. Phenomenal. I've heard about pink sand, but I've never seen it before. I didn't even know this place had it until I turned up here, and they put you on, they advertise this, all day tour where you go see the Komodo dragons, you go see pink sand, you go to a sandbar, you go to 2 or 3 different snorkeling sections. One where you see turtles, which I saw a turtle, and another one where you see manta rays. Oh my God. I actually think seeing a manta ray was so... I really want to see a Komodo dragon, but I'm really obsessed now with manta rays. I was, wow, blown away. absolutely blown away. Like, if you ever have the opportunity to see manta rays, wow, do it. I never have. I've gone diving, 20 odd times now. I'm not experienced whatsoever, but I've never come across a manta ray. So I'm like, oh, actually, why don't you try something, guys? I read this on someone, Doran's channel, actually. Are you a subscriber? Let me try this. Are you subscribed to my channel? Okay, done. All right, whoops. Can we not move that somewhere? Okay, doesn't it move away? Oh my God, what is that noise? Serious? Okay, how do I move this around? Okay, there we go. Okay, we started the sticker. There is something weird down here, like crying. Maybe it's a kid. There's a lot of stuff going on down here. You got a guy cooking something. Then another guy cooking something. Bakso Java. Bakso Jawa. I think that's like a soup noodly thing, I think. And a bit further down in the marina, like more that way, near the lighthouse, is a guy selling corn, jagung bakor. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere tonight. We have some people in the chat. Hello, how are we? Your info, what's your homeland? Is that what you're trying to say? Oi. I'm from Australia, but right now I'm in Indonesia on an island called Flores, where they have the Komodo dragons. So I was just talking about yesterday how I went on this fabulous day tour from the island of Flores. Sorry about the noise. I don't know, someone's constructing something. And I feel like I'm on like when you've had a really, really good day, like you can't top it, right? Like you kind of feel a little bit like, bleh. Like, what are we doing today? And like I had nothing planned, right? Oh my God, watch out for the, what? Okay, I saw the Komodo dragon yesterday, is that what you're talking about? So yeah, the real Komodo dragon, like a real dragon, a Komodo dragon. They exist. And I went snorkeling with a manta ray. Phenomenal. So anyway, let's just say with this, I hadn't really had a plan today. I really wanted to go to a cave. There's a cave about 40 minutes away, but I won't get on a scooter. So yeah, I know, isn't it awesome? I won't get on a scooter. I don't know where you're from, but I'm from Australia. I don't drive motorbikes. Hate motorbikes. I'm sorry if you drive motorbikes. That's good for you. I personally do not want to get on one. I have had an experience on a motorbike and I was on the back of it and we hit some sand and we fell over. No one got hurt, but that was kind of like a little taster to me that said, don't get on a bike again. Only in pure emergency will I get on one. That's it. And I think I might have been on one like once or twice since then. So that was in Vietnam, and that would have been, I reckon, 20 years ago. And since then, I've probably been on one or twice, and that was in Vietnam. And that's it, on that same trip. And then I came home and went, no more. So it does, when you're in places like Indonesia and Thailand and different places, it does actually put a bit of a spanner into your travel because, in Bali specifically, everyone gets on scooters. They get on the back of a scooter and they zip around, or they hire a scooter and zip around. I personally wouldn't get on a scooter in Bali just because the traffic is chaotic. The roads are not good. You hit in a pothole, you're flying over it. I know people will be like in watching this going, oh, you're just thinking what if. That's all right. That's you. That's how you can think. You know, I don't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you my story. I'm not getting on a bike. So that puts a bit of a damper on it because where I am at the moment, it's not so touristy at the moment. This is a very, very popular place for people to come and see the Komodo dragons. They come in like May, June, July. Europeans love this place, okay? But right now I'm here at the start of April, it's April 1st, and it's a bit of just before the high season. We're kind of like the shoulder season. So there's not a lot of people around. Not really. And pretty much people come here, they come and do the one tour and then they go. Or they might do some diving. I like to dive. I was going to do some diving tomorrow. I decided not to because it's actually really expensive. It was 2.9 million rupiah, which is about 275 Australian dollars to go diving at 3 dive sites. I think that's personally a little bit expensive. I've never paid that much for diving. And Indonesia doesn't have the most safest safety records for anything. So I'm just kind of weighing it up going, you know what, I don't need to go diving everywhere I go. I went diving last year in Samoa. Phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. I was toying with it back and forth. I mean, I can't do anything about it now. I've booked my flights. I'm flying out tomorrow back to Bali. Got another person in the chat. Robert's there. Hello. I rarely get on a scooter. My knees, no, they are. Okay, yeah, okay, right. Yeah, so you used to live in Indonesia. So when you lived in Indonesia, did you own a scooter? You're chilling with the locals. Well, I don't know what that sound is. I think it's some kind of pigeons on the roof next door. It's ridiculous. So I'm on the roof of my hotel at the moment, guys. So behind me is a swimming pool. It's only very little. And then in front of me is like the marina. It's very pretty at night time. You can softly hear the call to prayer over that way. You can hear the birds chirping on that roof, I think. And then someone behind me over there is also drilling something. Then you have a whole lot of people down here. Someone's cooking, barbecuing something. This guy's doing bakso Jawa. I don't know exactly what that is, but I think it's like soupy noodle thing. So there's like a promenade here. And yeah, people sell things, I guess. I came through last night when I got off the boat and there was like a little amusement park set up for all the locals. It is very pretty, isn't it? Have been in Indonesia for 10 years, not going anywhere. Oh, well, I thought you were living in Sydney, Robert. Look at these boats. Meatballs. Oh, you're from Sydney. Ah, okay. I completely got that wrong. Okay, so you're living in Java. Okay, so when you say you're not planning to go anywhere, meaning you're not getting on a scooter anymore, like you rarely go on scooters, or do you drive? So whereabouts actually are you in Java? Sorry, I must have, like when I'm doing my lives, I'm walking around and sometimes I can't even see the screen, guys, so I miss things. So I missed that. I'm sorry. Yeah, fill me in. Fill me in. Meatballs. From Sydney, correct. high chair. And also my eyesight is shit because I've been looking at the screen too much. Bangawangi. Okay, let me screenshot that so I can look that up later on. Bangawangi. You did say that before. Okay, I screenshot that, so I'll check it out later on. So I asked you, how close are you to Jogjakarta? So do you like salak, Robert? Because I'm obsessed with salak. Absolutely love the stuff. And actually, this is really good quality. This is probably the best salak I've had in Indonesia this time around. Normally when I go to my mum's house in Medan, or outside of Medan, which my mum's originally from, we go to the local markets and oh my God, the salak is to die for. I buy lots of it, but when I've been in Bali, I've had little bits and pieces, like some of it's good, some of it's not so good. Don't like salak or durian. Okay, we've had this conversation. Didn't know you didn't like durian. Yeah, durian, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, I never used to like durian. I think it's an acquired taste. I think it's very much an acquired taste. I do plan to, if I have time permitting, when I go back to Bali, I will go to a durian shop where they cut it open for you. Because obviously the hotel that I'm staying at, that I was staying at in Bali, obviously they don't have the rule that you can't bring durian into your room, because I could smell the durian in the room next door. That's how strong it is. It's crazy. And we have Lexi. Lauren, how you going, Lauren? Hey, how you going? And we have Damien. Hello, how you going? We're eating snake fruit, guys. And the reason why it's called snake fruit, because it looks like snake. Has anyone else tried? Robert, hello. Robert is living in Biranwangi in Java. He's from Sydney. So he doesn't like salak. But I am quietly obsessed with it. When I say quietly, probably loudly obsessed with it. I love it. There we go. So Damien, have you tried durian before? Damien's my friend from Brisbane. He's travelled a lot in Thailand and Vietnam. So have you tried durian? Yes. Do you like it? Lauren, have you ever heard of durian before? So Damien and Robert, both Australians. Lauren is from New Jersey. Robert, what time is it in Burrawingi? Is it the same time as is here? Like it's 8:30? I have, oh God, why can't read properly? I've tried everything. Drink durian is okay. Don't like the smell. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone likes the smell, hey. Oh, durian, I've never tried a durian drink. That sounds disgusting. Is it any good? Durian drink? I like star fruit's good. I was actually on a walk the other day on my live, and I literally walked past a star fruit tree. Star fruit's nice. Oh, 7:30. Okay, so you're only, okay, right. What do I didn't know there was different time zones in Indonesia. So Robert, can you tell me how a guy from Sydney ends up living in Java? If you don't mind asking. I mean, you don't have to answer it. I just ask questions. Oh, So you've never heard of durian before? Okay. Put it this way, Lauren. It stinks. Like, it's the worst smelling fruit in the world. If you go to a lot of hotels in Thailand, they'll actually say, they'll have a sign that says no durian allowed in the hotel. That's how bad it smells. And I was just saying that the hotel that I stayed at in Bali, I could smell in my room the durian in the next room. That's how potent it is. It stinks really bad. And it's quite a big, it's like the size of your head, and it's spiky on the outside. So if it hit you on the head, you'd know about it. It'd probably knock you out. And you cut into it, and then they've got like sacks inside. Literally got sacks. You open up the sack, and there's this yellow, mushy thing, and it's literally mushy. When I was in Singapore last year, I got a durian like dessert. It was like coconut ice cream with durian ice cream and some jelly bits on top. It was very weird. I don't know. I'm undecided if I love durian. I'll try it as a novelty. And like when I go back to Bali, I do. I know there's a durian shop, kind of, you know, maybe half an hour walk away from me. So you can go there and they cut it up for you. I don't think I want a whole durian because I'm traveling by myself. So I'm going to see if I can just have a little bit, like one sack. Okay. 1 hour behind Bali and Perth. Okay. Oh, Lauren, it's honestly, get this right. So when I was younger, my mum used to take my sister and I to Indonesia quite regularly to visit family, right? You know, she was proud of her 2 little girls that she dressed the same. Can you imagine? Me and my sister dressed the same. Anyway, and I'm a little taller than my sister. Anyway, she used to take us, we used to have to fly through Singapore. And this is, we're talking back 47 years ago now. And back 47 years ago, Singapore was not like how it is today. Singapore was like one of the most amazing countries in the world, right? Economically, it's like booming, right? But back then, 43 years ago or 47 years ago, it was like not that amazing. Like, you know, it was very shanty towns and there were some good areas, but like, you know, it was very, like, it was probably like how Indonesia is, like rustic and just as it is, right? Smells and everything. And I remember Mum took us to a market, because my mum loves markets, right? My mum is Indonesian, right? She's now living in Australia most of her life now, half her life. And she misses, like, you know, the markets, the smells, the people, the loudness, the everything, right? So she took us to the market. I vomited. I was only 3, okay? So my mum took me back to the hotel and left me in the hotel with a staff member there, apparently. You know, back then that was probably okay. Now you can't do that. It's okay. Coming to Indonesia for 35 years, simple life suits me. Okay, so when you say you've been coming to Indonesia for 35 years, but you're now living in this place, so you're not planning to go back to live in Australia anymore? I also like mangosteen, dragon fruit, snake fruit, and sour soup. Sour soup's nice, eh? I like that too. Mangosteen, I've got one in my room actually. I haven't eaten the last one. Guys, I've got 2 left. Lauren, that's what it looks like. It looks like it's got snake skin. See the snake skin? That's why it's called snake skin. It's called salak though originally. All right, back to drinking beer. So, this is a Bintang. Bintang is like in the Indonesian beer of choice. But this is a Redler. It's a lemon flavoured one. It's only a 2% beer, so it's not very... I won't be dancing on tables tonight, put it that way. But I thought... So last year, I went to Europe. I went to my friend's wedding in Lyon and saw her get married to her husband. And then I went to Luxembourg, and then I went to Paris. Now, when I was in Paris and Luxembourg, I was doing like Luxembourg diaries. So I thought tonight, this is my last night in Flores, in Indonesia, before I go back to Bali. How about we do a Flores diary? Okay, and what does that mean? You're like, no idea. Dory just rattling on. So I just thought, I'm just going to talk about my experience in Indonesia, because this is real Indonesia, guys. So like, Bali is Indonesia, I understand that, but I'm sure, actually, Robert, have you been to Bali? Lived there 10 years until last... Hold on. Lived here 10 years, plan to leave until last... Okay, right, you're staying there to your last breath. Okay, so you've been there for 10 years and you plan to stay there. Wow, okay. So have you been to Bali? Go to Sydney once a year. Okay. Bali about 100 times. Okay. Hey. All right, okay, so can I ask you, okay, so have you travelled quite extensively in Indonesia, Robert? Obviously I haven't, okay, like, and this is why I guess I've decided to come to Flores, because, you know, Bali's not just Indonesia, right? Bali is so, like, Indonesia is so much more than just Bali, but unfortunately everyone knows Bali. Like, you know, most people around the world have heard about Bali or wanted to go to Bali because it's like Tulum in Mexico. Like, everyone wants to go to Tulum in Mexico because it, you know, it's got the, it's all over Instagram, right? I just Googled durian. It's surprisingly rich in nutrients. The king of, yeah, exactly. Yep. So now, Lauren, you need to go. In New Jersey, do you have like a Chinatown? Because if you go to Chinatown, you may go to like a local grocery store and you will find durian. Now, what you could do, if they don't have it in season, you could get it frozen. I wouldn't recommend that because frozen durian tastes like shit. You need to get a durian in flavour, in season. But I reckon you should try it, Lauren. I'd love to see you try durian and see what you think. Custard apples too. Yeah, custard apple. Damien's really good too. A little while ago, my friend, Paul D. Australia, that I actually met in Bali, he asked me a question. I was doing a series called Ask Me a Question, right? And I'll answer it in 10 minutes. And he asked me what was my favourite fruit. And I said my favourite fruit was salak. I love it that much. I think it's amazing. I mean, I'm obsessed with fruit in general. Most fruit I like. I don't think there's any fruit I don't like. There was a time I didn't like bananas. That was so funny. I never liked bananas. I don't know why. I just think they're mushy. The reason why I don't like them, I like them now, is because we started growing bananas in our backyard. And then when you grow your own bananas, I felt obligated to try them. And I tried them and I went, no, maybe I've just been a big sook. Maybe they're okay. And they're okay. Hey, so tell me, Damien, mangosteen. Have you ever heard that you're not supposed to have any sugar after mangosteen? So Lauren, have you ever heard the fruit mangosteen? I haven't got it with me. It's in my backpack in my room. It's actually really tasty. I really like it. Robert, mainly Java and islands off Java, also Lombok. Okay, so you've never been to Flores then, Robert? No, in New Jersey, there's Chinatown, New York City, and another one in Pennsylvania. Okay, cool. Well, Lauren, I think the challenge is out there. I think you need to go to Chinatown and see if you can get some durian. Damien's got here custard apple as well as star fruit. What? Okay, I should have brought my glasses up. I completely forgot about that because I can't see properly. And it doesn't help that it's kind of like, maybe I think to go that way. Oh well, it's not really going to help. Hey, is it a full moon tonight, guys? Is it a full moon? Is it a full moon? It looks like a full moon. Can someone tell me if it's a full moon? Oh, I swear to God, I don't know what that sound is. Okay, so you've never been, Robert. Okay, well, what I was trying to say was like, this is going to be my Flora's diary, Indonesian diary. So like I did Luxembourg, every night I'd come and talk about, you know, what I've done today and how exciting things are and blah, 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 blah. So I was talking a little bit before to some random stranger before someone actually came online. I was saying how today's been a bit of a weird day for me. So I've been traveling, I've been on holidays now for nearly 3 weeks, and I had such an amazing day yesterday. So Damien knows because I sent him a message, I sent him some photos of what I got up to yesterday because he's a mate of mine. I had the fabulous day yesterday. So like when you have a big day and you don't have any plan the next day, of course you're gonna like, your energy's like, you drop because, you know, you were so excited yesterday and suddenly today's just like, ugh. Okay, and to add to it, I am itchy all over. What I mean by that is, I think I got bitten by sea lice. I don't know what's wrong with my skin, but like if anything's going to bite you, it's going to bite me first. Like I get bitten by bed bugs. I get bitten by, like actually talking about Java, because that's where Robert lives. When I went to Yogyakarta, it was stinking hot, right? And bed bugs love the heat. If you go to a country and the beds aren't cleaned properly, I'll be the one who gets bitten by bed bugs. Guarantee it, right? When I was in Yogyakarta, it was the start of my, actually this is the start, I went backpacking for 6 months around the world, right? Ticking off a lot of my bucket list things I wanted to do in the world. And I started my trip going to visit my family in Indonesia. And then I went to Yogyakarta. So this is the start of my 6-month trip. The first night in Yogyakarta, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and I scratched my eyes and I went, why is my eye all puffed up? And I was feeling my face and I was like, oh no. Think about the elephant man, okay? My eyeball was out here. I had like mumps over here. My arms were like, I was scratching at my arms, obviously, because I started like coming up in bubbles. Has anyone been bitten by bed bugs, or did you think it's a myth? Because it's so not a myth. Anyway, so I knew as soon as I woke up and I was scratching myself, I was like, oh no. I turned on the light and I was like, shit, is that really what I look like? So I knew straight away I got bitten by bed bugs, and they like your face, right? Because your head's on the pillow. I don't know why, but they get your face. They bite your eyelids. So I'm literally like Elephant Man. And that day, I had a tour booked to go see the biggest thing to see in Yogyakarta, which is in Java, is, now I'll get this wrong, Bora, I don't know. I can't say it. There's 2 big temples. One is a Hindu temple that looks a little bit like, no, it's a Javanese temple that looks a little bit like Siem Reap. So, you know the Angkor Wat. The Angkor Wat temples in Cambodia, they actually very Javanese style. So there's a smaller version of that in Yogyakarta. And then this other temple, Robert, you're going to have to help me out there. I can't remember the name of it. It starts with B. Borobudur. It's amazing. It's an amazing temple. It's one of the things I really want to do. It's on my bucket list, and I went to see it, right? And so anyway, I wake up that morning. I'm like the elephant man. And there's nothing I can do, right? Because once you get bit, you get bit. So I got up that morning and I went to a pharmacy, and they look at you and they're like, "Ugh, what happened to you?" kind of thing. And I'm just like, I got bitten by bed bugs. They're like, okay. So anyway, they gave me some kind of calamine lotion or something. So I packed it all over my face and it started to subside. I've got antiseptic, antihistamines to stop myself scratching, because I'm literally like scratching myself, clawing at myself because it's so bad. And like, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm clawing at myself now. And then I had to put big glasses on and a hat so I didn't look like the elephant man. So yeah, it was very funny. But anyway, that was funny. So I don't know where that went to, because we're going to talk about Indonesian diaries. I get scabies. Okay, a few. So I think scabies is the same thing as bed bugs. I think it is the same thing, isn't it? A few years ago, yeah. I think you're either, you've got it or you don't. Actually, you know what I've got? I've got antihistamines in my bag. That's what I should have taken today. I completely forgot. So anyway, like I said, I had a big day yesterday, amazing day. I snorkeled with manta rays. I saw the Komodo dragon. I saw a pink beach. I saw some amazing viewpoints, hiking up all these bloody mountains. One was very, very, very dangerous, but anyway, I did it. And consequently had to come down on my bum because it was that bad. So today, I wake up, I'm on a low because I've had such a high yesterday, and I'm waking up scratching, right? I haven't got bed bugs, but I've clearly got bitten by lice. And sea lice, it seems to bite you, but it's a delayed reaction. So I actually feel like I've got more bites this afternoon. No joke. So I've been starting progressively getting itchy all day. This morning I wanted to do a paint. I wanted to paint the lighthouse just over here. There's a lighthouse. Hey Wayne, how you going? Welcome in. So Damien's saying he hasn't had crabs yet. Oh, I'm sure there'll be a time, Damien. I'm sure there'll be a time. So welcome in, Wayne. Wayne is my friend from England. Welcome to the chat. We've got, Wayne is Fair Brick Studios. I just call him Wayne because that's his name. We've got Damien from Brisbane. We've got Robert from Sydney originally, but he lives in Java. And then we've got Lauren from New Jersey in the chat. And if there's someone else, I'm sorry, I ignored you. I didn't mean to. I'm talking about Indonesian diaries. Me just doing an update on how things are going. And just talking about how I had a fantastic day yesterday, Wayne. I swam with manta rays, or snorkeled with manta rays, and they're so big. They're massive. And you'll see some footage of that sooner or later when I make a video. And I saw the Komodo dragons. Anyway, the day was amazing, okay? But today I'm itchy because I got bitten by by sea lice from being in the water. Look, I've got, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm itchy. I swear they're just growing. I can't stop complaining. So this morning, my plan was to find somewhere to paint the lighthouse. And it was stinking hot. I'm talking, you could boil an egg on the ground. It was that hot. It was I reckon it was nearly 38 degrees, or probably even long. It was just ridiculous. It was stinky hot. And so I'm irritable because I'm itchy and the heat is just so intense. So Robert, you know the heat I'm talking about. Java's just as hot. It's hot. Your balls are sweating. I don't even have balls and I'm just sweating. It's disgusting. And I'm irritable because I'm in a mood. I'm scratchy and itchy. yeah, so I can't find anywhere to sit because it's so hot. And then I finally find somewhere to sit. It's not very comfortable, but I do my painting. And I painted the lighthouse. And it helped change my mood, okay? I was in a mood and I painted the lighthouse. And I did not a bad job, okay? If you're interested in seeing the lighthouse, a couple of lives back I said I'm going to paint a lighthouse, and that's the live. All right. Next one. We have another beer, guys. Let me change beers. There we go. So we're drinking a Bintang Redler. So Robert, do you like Bintang Redlers? What's your next trip to Indonesia? I have no plans for my next trip to Indonesia, but my mum has many plans for my next trip to Indonesia. So I'm heading back to Bali tomorrow, and then the next day I'm going to head to the Gili Islands. Have you been to the Gili Islands, Robert? You don't have balls. I know I said that. If I had balls, they'd be sweaty, I said. Yeah, so regarding Indonesia, don't drink. Okay, that's good. Not a bad thing. I don't normally drink beer either, but I really like these. They're really tasty. I just missed my mouth. So I have no immediate plans to go back to Indonesia. I'm going to be honest. I have another big trip planned at the end of the year to Africa, and that is a big trip. Lauren's just chimed in there probably about the balls. But my mum, so my mum is 76 years old, and mum, if you're watching this, hi mum. Say hello to my mum, guys, because she does watch the reruns later on, and she'll tell me something later on like, oh, Muti, do you have to drink beer? Do you have to drink beer? Or something like, oh, what are you doing on the roof with a random stranger sitting next to you? No, so my mum is 76 years old, and she spent most of her life now in Australia. So even though she's, fluent in Indonesian, because obviously she's from Indonesia, but she's not Indonesian anymore. She's Australian, right? Anyone that sees my mum, they see her coming, right? So they're going to rip her off big time. And mum's, I want to be honest, mum, your mobility, because I'm talking to my mum now, mum's cognitive on manoeuvring around an airport is not good. And she packs too much damn shit that she can't carry the shit by herself. So she has to take someone like me to carry her crap. And I always say to her, don't take crap from Australia to Indonesia. No one wants the crap. They can buy all the crap there too for really cheap. Buy it there for them. Don't buy it from Australia. But anyway, mum will bring 3 suitcases to Indonesia, okay? But also navigating the airport is not easy. Singapore airport specifically is not easy. It's, Robert, I think Damien, you've been to Singapore too. Singapore is a big airport, and it's got it's got a domestic side and international right next to each other. And so it's not easy. It's not easy. So, as I said, my mum wants to go back to Indonesia. She was supposed to be coming to Indonesia this trip, not with me to Bali. I was going to go to Bali, do my thing, and then I was going to go meet up with my mum in Sumatra. And my sister was going to take my mum over there, and then I would take my mum home. But then my sister said that she wasn't feeling well, so she didn't want to go. And then my mum said she didn't really want to go either. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going, I decided not to go to where my mum's family was from. I was going to go, but I'm not going to get into it actually at the moment. It's not a nice story. Decided not to do that. So that's why I decided I would like to do something different in Bali or in Indonesia that I haven't done before. I've been to Bali now that this is the 5th time I've been to Bali. But I haven't been back to Bali for 15 years. So I remember hardly not much, right? So I've really enjoyed Bali from the aspect of the food, the temples, the people, the beaches. Did I say the food? The food, the food, the food. I love the food. Love the food. But I wouldn't say it's Balinese food that I love. It's the Indonesian flavour that I love. Like I found a few places that the food tastes like my mum's food. Like fully like my mum's food. So the aspect of Bali, I think I really like the temples. I really love the temples. I think there's, I don't know, Robert, do you know about the gates? I don't, or maybe, I don't think, Damien, you've been to Bali, have you? Or have you? I don't know. There's some kind of meaning behind the gates. Most people's gardens have these gates. There's just amazing gates. They look like temples. But I think there's a reason behind the temples, like the gates. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but it's something to do with like feng shui, I think. So, yeah, I'd like to find that out. But I've really enjoyed like walking around and looking at people's yards and looking at all the temples and painting the temples. That has been one of my favourite things, painting the temples. So when I go back to Bali, I'm only going to be there tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm going to try to get the next day straight to the Gili Islands. And then I'll come back and spend maybe two more days in Bali. And I'd hope to, Robert, I don't know if you've been to Denpasar, in the capital of Bali is Denpasar. I mean, I know Robert knows that. But they have a big Hindu temple there. I drove past it one day and I was like, wow, that is huge. So I would like to go there. The temples all have like gates and they always have them closed, and they always say for worship only. Not that I'm not Hindu, and I'm not overly religious, but I put on a sarong, so you don't see my knobbly knees, and I had like sleeves on, right? So I was dressed appropriate, and I went in. I thought, well, you know what? Worship is different for everyone, right? Like worship could be praying, it could be meditating, it could be chanting, and for me, it's painting. I find painting, so it's my way of connecting to my soul in ways. It's also a way of me connecting to my father. So I lost my father about 8 years ago, and my dad was really, really good at anything artistic. Like he was a sign writer by trade originally, so he's very, very good at calligraphy. Back in the day before computers, when you used to do the fancy lettering and like fat lettering, and so he was really, really good at that kind of before computers came about. So he used to do signs and everything, amazing stuff. And he was really good at painting, flowers and everything. But anyway, my dad would be so proud that, I'm starting to paint, and I'm not painting to be amazing, right? I'm painting just for me. But I feel like when I paint, I feel like I connect to my father, like, I don't know, it's symbolic to me, and I don't care what anyone thinks. It's not supposed to make any sense to anyone else. It just makes sense to me, and it's a good connection for me. So it's been good. Singapore once, not for me. Okay, you've been to Singapore once. Wow, Singapore's changed, hey. I actually really liked Singapore. Damien, nope, you've not been to Bali. But Damien, you've been to Singapore, haven't you? Denpasar, know it well. Sangong, Sanua. Most houses have temples. Yes. Well, yeah, the guy that, my friend Paul that I met up in Bali, a fellow YouTuber, he has a driver, and I, of course, 20 questions to the driver one day, asked him about that, and he said Hinduism is like the head is the temple, the body is the house, and then the garden is your legs, is at the back, and like your legs are down there. So he goes, the Hindu house is a temple at the front, the body of the house, and then the legs is like your garden. That's how he explained it to me, and it kind of made sense. But I never asked about the why the gates, because I mean, if you go down to the beach, there's always these like really nice gates, and they're very ornate on the top. I need to find out. There's something about the gates. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that aspect of Bali. I obviously really loved catching up with Paul. You know, that was the original idea was to go to Bali to meet up with Paul. Paul is a fellow YouTuber that I made friends with literally by just commenting on videos, and we just became mates. So it was really nice to catch up with him. Damien's got here. I just realised I did something. Did a day in Jakarta. Oh, God. Guys, I look cross-eyed looking at this, guys. Here, let me have a look at this. I just realised I did a day in Jakarta face painting. What? So I've been to Indonesia, officially laugh. Face paint? I don't understand. What? I just realised I did a day in Jakarta face paint. So I have been to Indonesia, officially laugh. Okay. That doesn't really make sense, but anyway, okay, let's go with that. So I'm really proud that I came to Flores. I'm disappointed that there's no taxis and that you have to hire a scooter or get on the back of a scooter. I am disappointed with that because not everyone rides scooters, and I understand that a lot of people do, but I don't, and I'm not going to get on one, and I don't want to get on one. So basically I'm leaving because there's nothing else I can do. There was an idea of, trying to get on some kind of, holiday tour thing package so that I could go to the middle of Flores, because the island of Flores is massive. It's way bigger than Bali. And in the middle of Flores, they reckon is like they've got quite a few volcanoes, and they've got this crater where you hike up and then you look down and there's these 3 different craters and they've all got different colours, like coloured lakes. And it's phenomenal. I'd love to see that. But again, I can't get out there. Like, I'm just by myself. I could hire a driver, but it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, right? Literally an arm and a leg. And it takes like 9 hours to get to the middle of the island. So you're going to have to do an overnighter, and I'd have to pay for the taxi driver, which is fine, like to stay somewhere. This is fine, because that's the norm, right? When I'm in Indonesia with my mum, that's what we do. We hire a driver and we pay for the accommodation, right? But being by myself is just a little bit limiting, and I hate to say that because, I am a solo traveller a lot of the time, but it can be limiting. It can be more it can be more costly traveling by yourself because of these reasons. So anyway, hence why I'm going. I'm not going with my tail between my legs and going, I didn't have a good time. I had an amazing time. I think Flores is beautiful. I would like to come back here with a friend that we could share the costs and hire a driver and drive to the other side of the island and see all the other things, because they reckon that this island is like magnificent. And what I've seen so far when I was flying over, it looks really cool. The water here is so majestic. There are some island resorts that you can come stay at. They're like $150 a night. I just don't have that budget at the moment to pay $150 a night. It's called Pirate Island. I did look at it and I was like umming and ahhing going, do I just go for 2 nights? It's a bit expensive. Like, I don't care about accommodation because it's just somewhere you put your head, right, and you leave your bags, as long as you don't get bed bugs. But $150 a night is a lot of money on an island in Indonesia, okay? And what you get is they're like little thatch things, like little tree houses, and that's all it is really. But why it's more expensive is because you have to eat there. So they provide your breakfast, lunch and tea. You buy your own drinks. But, you know, you can use all the, you know, the kayaks and all that snorkeling stuff. But yeah, so I think it was $150 or was it $200 a night? It wasn't cheap. I just thought, pass. Hey, Shannon. How you going, Shannon? So guys, Shansters Travels is my friend Shannon from Minnesota. No, she's an hour away from Detroit. Is she in Minnesota or she's in... It's not Minnesota. Where are you, Shannon? So Lauren's got here, how do you like traveling solo, Dora? Why? My mother does the same. She goes cruising by herself. Well, Shannon goes cruising by herself. Michigan. Okay, south with M, Michigan. So yeah, Shansters Travels, she's a massive cruiser, but she's not always cruising. She does other things too, right? She's going to Africa in like a week or something, ridiculous. So exciting. I love traveling by myself, and like Shanster, she travels by herself a lot too. I love solo traveling. I will admit that it can be a little bit of, okay, I'm going to put this out here because last year I went traveling with my mum. Mum, you can be very annoying, just saying, because Mum watches this, right? So this is what it's like, right? Mum thinks I'm a baby still, right? I don't know how she thinks that, but anyway, I'm 50. So like, for example, we went to Bukat Lawan. So Robert, in the chat, have you ever been to Bukat Lawan? Bukat Lawan is where you see the orangutans in Indonesia. There is a video on my channel, about 4 videos back, where I go hiking and I go see orangutan, and I see a orangutan in the wild. It's wild. I love seeing animals in the wild. But this is how it goes, right? We hired a driver. So Mum and I, with the driver, we're staying at this really, really cute little place by the river in Bukat Lawan. And I'm sharing a room with my mother, okay? And I am sitting in the cafe having beers because why not? I'm on holidays. I went hiking through the day. I saw an orangutan. I'm so happy, right? And I don't want to go to bed early. My mum might want to go to bed early, but I don't want to go to bed early. So I'm in the bar, probably talking to someone on YouTube, having a beer. Mum comes out, tells me, go to bed. I'm like, Mum, I'm a grown-ass lady. I don't need to go to bed, Mum. I'm having a beer. You should go to bed. I'm like, Mum, for fuck's sake. Like, I was really pissed off. I'm like, for fuck's sake, I'm actually enjoying myself, sitting here having a drink in a really idyllic, like I'm right next to this beautiful river. It's so stunning, so stunning. If you ever have an opportunity to go to Bukat Lawan, oh my God, look it up. It's amazing. Anyway, so I'm like, for fuck's sake, and I said that to Mum, for fuck's sake, Mum, I'm 50 years old. Well, I wasn't 50 at the time, I was 49. I said, Mum, I'm 49 years old. I can sit out here. I'm like 50 meters away from the room. No one's going to kidnap me. Like, for fuck's sake. So eventually I just had to go and stop drinking, to go to the room, just shut her up, because I was so annoyed. I'm like, fuck. So to answer your question, Lauren, I love traveling by myself because then there's no one looking after me going, Dora, go to bed. So that is one reason why I like traveling by myself. So Mum, if you're listening to this, it's true. Like, it's annoying, Mum. Robert Scott here, have not been to Bukat Lawan. Okay, yeah, it's amazing. The river going through Bukat Lawan is sensational. Even if you didn't go see the orangutans, there's all these little restaurants and cafes by the river, and you just sit there and you just watch the river go by. It's spectacular. And after my hike, and I have to make a video about this one. after the hike, you actually get in a tire and you float down the river on the rapids. It was so fun. So fun. So, but yeah, I guess Lauren, like, traveling by yourself teaches you a lot of independence, to ask questions, to ask for directions. You know, I like sitting in a bar by myself having a drink. Absolutely love it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I love sitting there having a meal to myself, you know, eating what I want to eat, go when I want, you know, stay if I want to, look at the view, not look at the view, want to go home early, I can go home early. Because if you're with someone, you have to rely on them. Like, you know, like, you know, they might be getting into the beers and really enjoying the beers, and I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to go to bed. Like, I'm tired, like, I just want to go to bed. Where was I recently? I was somewhere. Who was I with? Oh, okay, Paul, in Bali. So guys, obviously I went to Bali independently, and so did Paul. We're staying at the same hotel, but we would meet up every now and then. Like, you know, I would do lives and he'd go, oh yeah, I know where she is, I'll go, you know, catch up and say hi. Or we would meet basically in the afternoon for a drink at the beach, right? We weren't in each other's pockets. Sometimes we'd go out for dinner together. Sometimes I'd go, I'm not going to eat dinner tonight, you know. But I remember, and it's okay, if Paul listens to this, I don't care, right? But like, there was a couple of times we'd go out for dinner and I'm dead tired. Like, my eyeballs are like this. Like, I am so tired. And Paul is loving the beers. He's bintagging up, right? Bintang, bintang, bintang. I'm drinking the half strength stuff, right? And I'm literally falling asleep in my, like, and Paul's like, blah, 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 blah. And like, for me, I'm like, I love a chat, right? But, you know, sometimes I'm tired, like, you know, the heat here, everything, right? And I'm like, oh God. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when you travel with someone, and I'm not that I was traveling with him, but if you are traveling with someone, like, or going out for dinner with someone on a trip, I felt really bad going, hey, I need to go home. I felt really bad, but I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I want to go. And he could have sat there all day drinking, all night drinking. And he'd go, oh, okay, all right. And then he'd go to the bar downstairs and drink. But that's an example of, you know, when you are by yourself, when you get tired, you just go. Is that like selfish of me? Maybe. But that's the benefits of traveling by yourself, is that, you know, you can do what the fuck you want, right? If I want to sit on the roof up here, talking to a computer, like a phone, drinking a beer or two, I can. You know, no one's here to tell me what to do. So yes, I'm a bit selfish, but that's okay. I own it, right? Shanster's got here, that is true. But if you travel with someone, has to be like you. Oh, who's like you? Who's like me? Fuck, I think I'd do my head in if I had to travel with myself, with another person like me. Sometimes it's much better solo traveling. That's what I'm saying, Shannon. It is sometimes better, eh? I like to be able to sleep when I want to, laugh. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'll give you another example. Lauren, if you're still there, this story will probably rabbit on for a while. Go to the other place. Go to the other places in Flores. Well, too late. I've booked my flight already, Robert, and plus I can't go there because there's only me. No, there's not enough tourists here. They're not doing any tours over to those islands, like to the other areas. Like, I was trying to go to a cave today. The cave's only like 40 k's away. It's not far. I couldn't go there either because no one's going. I actually had to hire a driver myself and pay for the slow boat, and it was going to cost me $100. I thought that was like excessive for just to go to a cave. So I decided not to go. Lauren's got here. That's amazing. Right now, oh man, okay, hold on. That's amazing. Right now, my 10-year-old is my travel partner, laugh. But it's kind of like traveling by myself because I'm the only one making the decisions. Very true. Very true. True. But, I mean, I guess, if you wanted to stay out having a couple of drinks, you can't, right? Because you're with your child. That would be wrong. But all I can say is, Lauren, when you when you are able to, I would challenge you to do it, and I would suggest do like a little staycation, like not too far away from home, like maybe go to New York City for the night, or not too far away from like go to Long Island or something. Don't go too far. Like, I mean, don't organise to go to Europe for 3 weeks by yourself and you decide when you get there you absolutely hate it, or like try a little starter thing first. That's how I'd suggest it, because you want to test it out before you go full hog into it. Like I said, I did 6 months traveling around, pretty much backpacking by myself for 6 months, and I loved it, absolutely adored it. But in between those times I would do some group activities because my mother was hassling me so much about going to South America or Egypt that I should do like tours because it's safer. So anyway, I did do some tours along the way. I don't regret it, actually. I actually didn't mind the combo of some tours and sometimes not. But I'm going to be honest, sometimes even traveling with people on tours is fucking a nightmare. Some people are really hard work. Specifically, I remember one lady, oh my God, Jennifer. Her name was Jennifer. She was Chinese American. Oh my God, we wanted to shoot her. She was shocking. So bad. So bad. She was horrible. I can't even give you an example, but she was just horrible. So sometimes when you do those group tours, they're good. That's actually it's not a bad thing. Shannon, you do a lot of group tours too, right? They're a good way to test it out because you get a single room to yourself, and then you've got paid people to go through the day with different things. And you just follow the crowd. Like, you don't actually have to be specifically holding hands with, your best friend on a trip together. So it's not a bad way to do it, to be honest. So Shannon's got here. I didn't bring the kids on big vacations. We just camped and did road trips. And that's a great experience. A lot of people don't even do that, Shannon. You think about it, right? A lot of people don't even do that with their kids anymore. Like, I love doing road trips with my dad. My dad had a combi van, and we'd do road trips in the combi van. Great childhood. Greatest childhood. Loved it. I took them on cruises when they graduated from secondary school. Any excuse for a cruise, Shannon, hey? I enjoyed my grouped out with Dora. So I became the tour guide and I took Shannon out with me. And that was really good. Look, I think we'd probably travel quite well together. I don't think we need the same room because I think we both like our own space. But I think we could do the same as like what Paul and I did, like crossover. Like, sometimes do activities together, sometimes do our own thing. That's what I like to do. The last time I went to Bali, I went with like 3 of my best friends. Fuck, it was funny. And these are the reasons why sometimes traveling with friends is sometimes not a great idea. Because especially if you've got different kind of paces. Like, 2 of my best friends are like your designer wear girls. Like, they have the nails. Okay, maybe they don't do the nails anymore, right? But like, back then they were into their, logo clothes and, designer wear togs and, the hair done, you know, makeup, all that kind of stuff, right? Me, never been into hair, never been into makeup or nails, just a slob. No, I'm not a slob, but I'm just, you know, I'm just me, right? I don't give a shit about designer wear shit, like, whatever. I mean, I'd rather spend that on travel, right? But then my other friend, Raylene, is very similar to me. But she's even worse than me, right? She's so bad that, okay, back then she was a uni student, okay? She was a professional uni student for a long time. So she's a tight ass, right? And she travelled as much as I did. Like, she was a big backpacker like me. We'd make it work, right? We would travel on shoestrings, like literally. Like, we'd spend nothing travelling, because hardly anything, because we were trying to stretch it out, right? That's what you do. But the other two that we came with, they wanted everything first class, right? Like, we're not doing any backpacking shit. Like, so we had to stay at the Hard Rock Hotel. It was hard work, guys, okay? We stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel in Kuta, across the road from the beach. It was a very nice resort. I'm not a resort person, but I'm trying to change that, right? I joined a travel club to have a better style of accommodation, but to still pay backpacking rates, okay? So that's my theory. It's kind of working so far, except the accommodation I'm staying at right now cost me $43. Still not cheap, but I'm paying for the convenience because it's got a pool. But I did use a travel club, so I did get a bit cheaper. But anyway, where am I going with this? So Raylene, oh my God. Raylene is such a tight ass, right? We travelled together in Vietnam one time, back when we were like our early 30s. Again, she was on a shoestring, like literally on a shoestring, because she was a uni student. We're at a restaurant, right? And I have this thing when I eat chips, right? Hot chips, like French fries, right? I'll bite into it, and I will sometimes not eat the chip, like the tip of the, like if it, I just don't know. I just eat half the chip and I'll put the rest on my plate. Raylene will be hovering over my plate going, are you going to eat that? I don't know. Okay, and then she'll just wait a while. And then when I finish my dinner, she'll go, are you going to eat that? I'm like, no, I don't want it. Okay, and then she'll take my plate and she'll eat the rest of my chips. Because so she'll order something little, and then she'll eat everyone else's meals. One day, we were at a Vietnamese restaurant in Vietnam, and she was watching the guys across from us, and they left their chips. She picked up the plate from next the table and ate the chips. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, as long as you're watching and they haven't coughed all over it, I mean, it's not that bad. But still, it's pretty funny, right? So, anyway, moral of the story is, solo travel can be fun. Traveling with your friends can be hard work. Like for example, my friend, Raylene, and I are very similar in the way we travel, though she's even a tighter ass than I am. And then my two other friends were in the next room. We had an internal wall, an internal door that we could talk to each other. And Raylene sleeps all day. Like, she'd sleep all day if you let her. I like to get up early. Raylene waits to the very last minute to wake up. Like, if we have to leave at 8 o'clock, she will wake up at 7:30, be the last one in the shower to get out the door at 8 o'clock. So that doesn't give anyone else the opportunity, if they wanted to sleep in, because she's always that person. So that would frustrate me, because when we were in Vietnam, everyone knew, okay, like, we're leaving at this time in the morning, right? And she would slide in, as in, like, wake up the very last minute. So that was annoying for me, and I'll be honest, that was annoying. Yeah. So I've traveled quite a bit with her when I was younger. Yeah. Shannon's got here, oh wow, that's annoying. I had a friend like that too. Wanted to share every meal. Yeah, okay, yep. Yep. Having vacation with her, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, speaking of vacations, have you heard from Michelle? Oh, you don't have to answer it here if you want. Just send me a message about it later on, Shannon. Yeah, look, that's why I like traveling by myself. I really do. Call me selfish. Nope. Oh wow. Okay. Oh well. No skin off your back, mate. What was I just say? I was just going to say something. Anyway, well, let's go on with the Indonesian diaries, guys. I'm getting sidetracked, okay? But good question, Lauren. Actually, let me circle back about that. Shannon doesn't travel with her husband. Her husband is not that much of a fan of travel. He loves that she goes away, but it's not that fan, that much. But I actually really like traveling with Diego. He's been my favorite person to travel with. I've had a few boyfriends, right? Like we all have, or girlfriends. What do you want? I mean, I haven't had a girlfriend, but we've all had partners, right? And I've had some doozy travels with boyfriends, like doozy, like really bad. Like, oh, give you an example, right? You've asked the question, sorry, Lauren, I'm just going to go into it. So the boyfriend that I will not name, I was with him for 10 years, right? And we went to Europe. Now, I think the only reason we went to Europe was because he knew that I was nearly out of this relationship. In that relationship, that's when I traveled for 6 months, backpacking around the world, even though I had a boyfriend at home. He didn't want to come, so I'm like, you know what? You don't want to come? I'm going. And a lot of my friends questioned me. They said, oh, that's a bit rude, like leaving your boyfriend at home? How? That's a bit rude. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I rude leaving a boyfriend at home? He doesn't want to come. I don't want him to come. I want to travel. He doesn't like to travel. Just because we're together doesn't mean I have to fucking stay at home. So I found that really, really weird. But that's just the way I think. And I think, Shannon, that's why we get along, because you have the same kind of ethos. Like, like your husband supports you traveling, as in like he doesn't mind. He trusts you. And whereas this boyfriend didn't like me going away. But I was like, you know what? I'm going anyway. So anyway, we didn't break up. But after that trip, he's like, all right, let's go to Europe. We got some cheap flights to Europe. And we were going around Valentine's Day. And a couple of my friends said to me, oh, he might actually propose to you we're going to be in Paris on Valentine's Day. He goes, he might propose. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I hope not, because I'm not saying yes, right? Anyway, the first night we flew into Frankfurt, right? Frankfurt's a really cool place. Anyone been to Frankfurt? So we're in Frankfurt. We're at a backpacker hostel, but we had a private room. And backpacker hostels always have the coolest bars, right? They always have a really cool bar. And we've probably got jet lag, right? And you should never drink when you've got jet lag, right? Because it's not a good combination. So anyway, we're at the bar and they do Jägermeisters. Fucking Germany, Jägermeisters. So you know how they do the Jägermeister. Oh my God, what is it in? Is it Jägermeister and Red Bull? Oh, it's disgusting. I think it is. Jägermeister and Red Bull. You put a shot in I don't know. What is a Jägermeister, people? Someone's got to answer that. Jay used to travel with me and I'm too busy. Oh, that's right. He works a lot. That's why. Combo Hunter? That doesn't make any sense. Red Bull. Yes, Red Bull. It is Red Bull. Yeah. So it's Jägermeister with Red Bull. Okay. It's disgusting, right? So we had a few of those in the Frankfurt hostel on our first night in Europe. Let's just say that I went back to the room early because I was like, you know what? I know my limits. That stuff is horrible. Ugh. Okay, so I go back to the room. The boyfriend decides to go get stoned also with the guy at the hotel. So he's not only is he doing Jägermeister bombs, he's getting stoned. Probably not a good combination together. He comes back to the room, absolutely rotten, right? Absolutely rotten. And now this is disgusting. This is painting a really bad picture, right? He vomits on the bed. I think I just like roll over on the other side because he vomits on his side. So I'm like, you know what? That's your fucking problem. And I'm like trying to sleep because I'm jet lagged, hungover, like not feeling good already from the Jägermeisters. And he vomits, right? So anyway, he must have fallen asleep, right? Thank fuck. He wakes up a couple of hours later yelling, "You vomited on the bed, you vomited on the bed." I'm like, pardon me, I didn't vomit on the bed. You vomited on the bed. Anyway, he's aggro and yelling and screaming and making a fool out of himself. No one could hear it. We were just in the room, right? But like, he's obviously drunk, woken up, thinking that I vomited on the bed on his side. I mean, it's funny, but it wasn't funny at the moment. I was just like, this is not cool. This is the start of our holiday, our European holiday. This is not a good omen. That was just one example. Okay, so as I said, it's nice to have a partner that you like to travel with, right? And that lets you travel, like not lets me, because I'm going to travel anyway. Like I don't ask, oh, do you mind if I go on holidays? Like it's my life, right? But it's nice to have someone that you can travel with and then that you like to travel with and then you can travel by yourself. So Lauren, you're still there? Oh my God, that sounds like, oh God, I'm sorry, I look cross-eyed when I'm looking, so I have to turn it around. Oh my God, that sounds like Chloe's dad when we were dating, laugh. He took me to 1,000 islands and had a feeling we're going to propose. So I told him before we went, he better not. Yeah, good idea, hey? So yeah, let me go with another question, another thing, right? Same trip in Paris. I love Paris. Paris is my favorite city in the world. If you've been to Paris, you either hate it or you love it, right? I love it. I've been there quite a few times now because it's in the middle of Europe. So you kind of go through, when you spent some time there, you go through different, anyway, love Paris. Okay. So we're in Valentine's Day and we're in France, the city of love, right? We're going out, we're having a romantic dinner. We even had oysters. I mean, bloody hell. It was a nice dinner, right? It was really nice. Got a nice photo. Someone gave me, he bought me a flower. It was very romantic. It was quite nice. But I think I said, hey, how about we go look at the Eiffel Tower, right? And he wanted to go to a pub and get drunk or something like that. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the pub and get drunk. We've had enough drinks. It's Valentine's Day. Let's go to the Eiffel Tower, right? Like I had this idea of kissing under the, Eiffel Tower, like it's, romantic, right? And he didn't want to go. And I think we did go. And he was like a sourpuss the whole time. Absolute sourpuss. It to the state where I was actually crying. I was just like, why am I in this relationship? Why am I in this relationship? On Valentine's Day, coming home from Eiffel Tower on a bus. Yeah. It wasn't nice, I'm going to be honest. But anyway, that I'm glad I went to Paris last year, because I've got new memories of Paris now, because my last memories of Paris was that time. And now I have all these amazing memories of, beautiful times in Paris. All right, I have one more drink left. Hang out if you want to, but don't need to hang out if you don't want to. Okay, I need to figure out how to hold this phone up without knocking it over. I really don't know what that sound. Can you guys hear that sound? It's like chirping birds. Let me show you what we're looking at downstairs, guys. So it is 9:30. So this is in front of the hotel. He's making something down there. So I think a lot of people in Indonesia, they buy street food because it's so cheap. He's making something and he's wrapping it up in paper. So interesting. Whew. Beer not warm. Oh, it's still cold. It's quite nice tonight, actually. Isn't it interesting? I haven't had a fridge, but it's actually quite cool. It's not cool, but like, it's a nice temperature. It's a really nice temperature. I was going to go for a swim. Should we go for a swim? I think I'm going to go for a swim, guys. Let me clean my rubbish up. Don't be one of those tourists that leave your shit everywhere. It's like picking up my skin. Clean up after yourself, Dora. Clean up after yourself. Rubbish. Rubbish. Beer. All right. I have a towel. Come with me, guys. I'm going for a dip. Oh. All right. Show you the pool, guys. It's actually a really nice pool. It's a really nice pool. Probably shouldn't put the battery charger next to the pool, because I'll end up I'm going to get a glass of water. I think this one's... It's warm water, guys. All right. Be there in a second. I'm going to move you over here. Cheers, guys. We're in the pool, because I can. Apparently they don't close the pool at night time. So let's go for a swim. It's quite nice actually. And we're on a roof. So I'm paying $44 Australian for this place. It's actually not bad, to be honest. It's a little bit more than I would normally pay, I'm gonna be honest. But, okay, sorry guys, I'm just scratching myself because, you know, I told you before I've got like all these bites over me. Literally all these bites. And the sea lice has bit me between my toes. I know I've got to stop scratching. I'm going to take an antihistamine when I get back to the room. So, I'm going to interview myself, guys. What has been your favourite part of Indonesia so far? Painting. Painting temples has been my favourite thing about Indonesia so far. What has been your favourite tour so far? Yesterday, when I saw the Komodo dragons and the swimming with the manta ray, amazing. The pink beach, Peta Island, being on the slow boat, sunset, snorkeling, awesome. Has there been something you didn't like on your trip so far? The heat. It's been really hot, like really hot, like really, really hot. But, you know, it's always been like that. Like, doesn't matter where you know, like, Asia's hot, right? Even in Thailand, it's like, the heat is obsessive. Like, yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like the last couple of days here in Indonesia have been really hot. I don't know if you said, Robert, like, if you Nents, I don't know. I mean, like, I really don't know the seasons in Indonesia. I know there's like a monsoonal season, which is like December, January, February. But then the rest of the time, it's always hot anyway. So is this right now hotter than normal? Has it been hot for you for the last couple of days in Java where you're staying? Because I feel like the last couple of days in Bali and the last couple of days here have been stifling hot. Like boil an egg, like fry an egg on you know, like it's so hot. Like I swear I could, like this morning when I was painting, I was sitting down in the shade and even the cement was still hot. It was just so, okay, stop scratching. It was so hot, like disgustingly hot. I must say, my favourite accommodation has been the last place I stayed, where I'm going to stay tomorrow night again. I just really like the architecture. I like the balcony. I like the gardens, like the temples in the garden. It's so inspiring. I really like the pool on the roof here. The place with this, you know, the gardens are inspiring. They've got a nice pool too. It's nice. Got to say, I'm glad they've got a pool here because it's a nice way to cool down. Because, like, the first day I got here, I was so hot from walking around with my backpack on, trying to find somewhere to stay, that, you know, it was just so convenient that they had a pool. Like, I literally dumped my bag and chucked my togs on and went, see ya. So it's a nice touch. I'm surprised no one's using it though. The food here in Flores has really not surprised me, because I'm not surprised, but the seafood has been really good quality. I had tuna steak the other day, I had a snapper the other day, I had squid tonight. Oh my God, the squid I had tonight, like the squid was huge, right? Like a big size of squid, barbecued in chili. Oh, it was so tasty. Like really tasty, and the sambal was really spicy. I haven't been able to get some really good sambal in Bali. Seems to be that some places just don't have really good sambal. They just give you sweet chili sauce. It's not the same. Feels hotter because the season is changing. Okay, right. So it is getting into hot season, right? Yeah, okay. I can definitely feel it. Definitely feel it. Definitely feel it. So Robert, do you work? Are you retired? Or do you still work from Java? Sorry, I ask a lot of questions. Another thing I've really enjoyed is sunset chasing. In my home life in Australia, I used to love going to watch the sunset. I just, in my routine now, I don't seem to watch the sunset. I see way more sunrises. And I think that's what I've learnt to appreciate more on this trip is sunset chasing. I think you're going to see more of Dora doing sunsets in the afternoons and picnics and sunsets. And going to different places to watch the sunset, I think. Like at home where I live. So Robert, I'm from Redcliffe. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm from Redcliffe in just outside of Brisbane. And so, even though we don't have amazing beaches, they're beautiful beaches because I live there, right? I love them. But I watch the sunset at Clontarf over Bramble Bay. It's actually really pretty. And, the colours are amazing. You can go to the pub and watch it, or you can sit at the park there and just have a picnic or a barbecue, or just sit there and watch it, right? And I do that from time to time, but not religiously. And I've been loving going to the beach. I think I've been going to the beach and having a few of these, which I really like. When I go back to my life in Australia, I'm not going to do that, guys. Beer is bad. Like, I've put on a bit of weight, guys, I'm going to be honest. But, it is what it is, right? Enjoy your life, right? Have not worked for 12 years. Okay. Well, enjoy it. That's great. Where am I going with this? Oh, yeah, sunset chasing. So, as I said, I've been watching the sunset every afternoon. I have been doing a live every afternoon, showing you guys the sunset, and you guys have been enjoying it, right? And I just kind of think to myself, why don't I do that at home? I don't have to do a live, mind you. Why don't I just go and enjoy the sunset? Why don't I? I've got these 3 guys that working on the construction site. They're staring at me. It's not like I've got my boobs out or anything. Like, my boobs are actually in the water, but they're staring at me because I'm a girl, right? I'm a Westerner. That is something that's actually been quite interesting here about Flores. Obviously, when you're in Bali, you kind of forget that you are in Indonesia. It's like a combination of Australia, really, and Asia in ways, right? Because it's actually, I'm in a combination of Thailand and Australia because, in Thailand, they drink lots of beer, right? Singer beers everywhere, right? But then there's an Australian feel because everyone is Australian in Bali, right? Generalising, right? But then, I know that, right? Because I'm obviously in Sumatra. It's not like Bali, right? It's nothing. It's like this, right? Mosques mosques in places, the call to prayer. But when I came to Flores, I just forgot that. And then suddenly I heard the call to prayer and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in proper Indonesia. So, is Bali Indonesia? What do you reckon, Robert? Is Bali Indonesia? And if you go to Bali, do you know Indonesia? I don't think so. Like, um, I think Indonesia, like Bali's amazing. Like, I think it's a great starting point to go to Indonesia. But I think it's also a false sense of like that you think that the rest of Indonesia is going to be like Bali, and it's not, right? Bali 100% part of Indonesia. Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm just trying to say, like, if you go to Bali, have you been to Indonesia? Of course you have. I mean, I know you are. Like, I know it's a country, it's an island or state in Indonesia. But what I'm trying to say is, like, can you legitimately say that you've seen Indonesia if you've been to Bali? Because you're seeing beach bars everywhere, everyone's selling Bintang beers everywhere, trying to sell you drugs on the corner and Viagra, right? But there's other parts of Bali too, like it's not just Legian and Kuta and Seminyak where I've spent a lot of my time. Like, I haven't seen Sanua. I'd like to go to Sanua. If I have some time, I'm going to go to Sanua. I was just thinking. Actually, Robert, sorry, do you know how far Sanua is from Denpasar? I was just thinking maybe I could get a taxi from Denpasar to Sanua tomorrow. Because I know I can get a ferry from Sanua to Legian, like to the Gili Islands. Bali's losing traditions in parts only. Yeah. But, I mean, I guess for the normal Joe, right, that they go to Bali, they go to their tattoos, they go to Kuta, they go to Legian, they do, like, the touristy things. They go to Ubud and, some of the volcanoes and stuff. But, drinking beer on the beach is not typical in Indonesia, right? Like, I don't think there's anywhere else in Indonesia that you can go. Maybe, okay, Gili Island might be exemption to the rule, because I've not been there yet, so I'll tell you in a couple of days. Because I think Gili is a little bit different, right? Actually, do you know, is Gili a Muslim, like, kind of area, or is it Hindu, or is it just Bali that's Hindu? I'm actually getting a bit cold. 40 minutes from airport, max. Oh, okay. But that doesn't really give me a lot of time to check out Sanua though, because if I fly in at 2 o'clock. So if I get to Sanua by 3 o'clock, not really, 3:30, 4 o'clock probably by the time I get there, that only gives me a couple of hours to, walk around that night to see what Sanua is like, and then I go to Gili Island. So probably not a long time. I'm better off just going to Bali, into where Seminyak, stay where I know, go get my favourite food for dinner. I can't wait to go have Sumatran food. So I found a really cool wurung. There's 2 of them I really, really like. One at the market, amazing food, and then a wurung kind of nearly diagonally across from where I stay, they're from Sumatra. And oh my God, the food is phenomenal. The taste is amazing. Like, I could eat there breakfast, lunch and tea. So amazing. Amazing. I think I've gone there for breakfast, and I've gone there for lunch. I've gone there for dinner. Not all on the same day, but nearly. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably been my favourite thing. I mean, but that's not the favourite thing about Indonesia. Like, Indonesia's got a phenomenal food, right? I think if when I go home from this trip, my favourite thing I'm going to say is I've really enjoyed seeing the temples in Bali. And I don't know why that hasn't been on the forehead of like my thoughts pattern before. Like, I mean, I've been to Bali a couple of times now, and I've even gone to a temple and done like the I paid for a Hindu ritual. So I've done that ritual before too. But like I guess it was 16 years ago, so I don't really remember a lot of it. But maybe this time round I'm seeing it in different eyes. Like I'm kind of looking at the temples and going how beautiful it is. Like I'm really looking at it. Like especially I think when you paint, you're really looking deeper than just what's there. You're like looking at the little cracks and stuff like that. So I think that's why I really like painting it. I think it's like for your brain, it stops you overthinking things. Like you are overthinking because I'm thinking like, how am I painting this picture? But I really think that, yeah, when you paint, you're looking at more than just what's there. You're looking at it how it's placed, what's behind it. Because if you're not painting, you just look at, oh yeah, there's a temple, right? Yeah, it's been good. I think for my mental health, because so Robert, what you don't know about me is, in ways, I'm kind of escaping my life a little bit, which is bad. You shouldn't escape your life. But we're renovating I don't want to say where, my partner is renovating our house in back home. And we've been living in a caravan for 2 months. So I've taken a month off to go to Indonesia so I don't have to live in the caravan for a month. And the caravan is really small. So if you're familiar with the Jayco pop-up campers, so it's not a caravan, it's a pop-up, like half canvas, half aluminium. So we're only talking a little thing. So it's been difficult because anything you do in the caravan, it takes a lot longer. Like, you can't find your clothes. You got to put everything back into the place it belongs. Otherwise, the place becomes a complete mess. I have to go inside to pee. I go upstairs and went to my friend's house to shower, which is not a bad thing. Like, in the scale of life, it's really not that much of a drama. But when you add that on top of each other, like on top of other things, like, things just take a little bit longer. Shannon's got here. We are flying home. Oh, when are you flying home? On the 10th of April. So literally 10 days, 9 days time. So, yeah, 9 days. So I'm going to spend a couple of days in Gili Island and I might try to go to Lombok. So Lombok is one of the big islands across from the Gili Islands. And I don't think I'm going to go to Ubud. I don't think I really want to go to Ubud at this time. So Shannon, Ubud is famous for everyone goes and does yoga there and they do yoga retreats. It's very healthy. Like you'll go there and you'll pay $10 Australian for like a fancy muesli bar, like muesli bowl. And they have fancy coffees and that costs you quite a bit of money. So it's become a very trendy place. So it's not cheap to go there. I mean, there'll be places you can go that are cheaper to eat and stuff like that. Just like Bali, like anywhere in Bali, like there's expensive places and then there's cheap places, right? People can go to Bali and have like a first class holiday. They can, the best foods, the best hotels, the best of everything, right? And it costs you an absolute bomb, like a big bomb, right? It can be expensive, right? But then, the other side of it is you can stay in really cheap places and eat off the street, like I've been eating off the street kind of thing, and, have a completely different holiday, right? There's no right or wrong, right? Like, it's just the way you like to do things. Okay, I can't stop scratching, guys. Hey, Matt, how you going? Matt, have you ever heard of a Bintang Radler? It's a lemon beer. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Don't forget to like. It's free. So guys, meet Matt. Matt is my friend from Cheshire in the UK. So Matt, I saw you've seen a couple of my videos and said hello. Hello, nice to see you. I'm in an island called Flores at the moment. I'm about to go back to Bali tomorrow actually. And then I'm going to go to an island called Gillies. I don't know which island I'm going to. There's 3 islands. There's Gili T, which is the party island apparently. Gili Air, which is... Okay, Gili Meno is the romantic kind of honeymoon kind of island. And Gili Air is supposed to be a combination of both. So I'm probably going to head to Gili Air. But I think Gili T sounds good too. You don't have to stay in the party places, right? So anyway, I don't know. I haven't booked accommodation because Dora doesn't do those kind of things. Like, I just kind of wing it. I haven't pre-booked anything on this trip except where I stayed with Paul. I pre-booked that for 2 nights because I wasn't quite sure if I'd stay there, if I might go somewhere else. But yeah. But anyway, guys, I think I've done enough rambling for tonight. Yeah, cool. You're back travelling. Yes, I've been in Bali for the last 2 weeks. And then I've just gone to this island, the Flores, which is on the east coast of Indonesia. So completely different feel. And you come here to see the Komodo dragons. So I saw the dragons yesterday and I went swimming with the manta rays. That was amazing. I have a story to tell you about the Komodo dragons, but I'll wait and put that in the video, guys. Yeah, yesterday was amazing. Honestly, Flores. So Robert is a new person in the chat. He's from Sydney originally, but he lives in Java. And I'm encouraging him to come to Flores because it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's a different feel. But though, in Java, you'd be interested. You'd be familiar with like the same feel, like the mosques and the call to prayer. But I just think the actual raw beauty of the islands is just phenomenal. It reminds me of Thailand. Sorry, not Thailand. Philippines, because the Philippines is like very close to here, right? Like a few islands away. Not really, but it shares the same sea, right? So the islands are very similar. So like yesterday, I felt like I was actually like reliving the same tour I've done before, but in the Philippines. So I went to the Palawan Islands in the Philippines, and they do these island hopping tours, and you go for different things. Anyway, long story short, it was phenomenal. Like you go to all these different places and you go snorkeling and this and that and this. So yesterday, the same kind of idea, you go to all these different places and it felt like there was the same like quality of water. It looks just the same. Same, but different, right? Just different language, different body of water, but same body of water. But anyway, guys, I'm starting to be cold. So I think I'm going to get out and I'm going to say goodbye. So anyway, thanks for listening to my Indonesian diaries. There was a bit of a ramble there. It went many different ways, which is pretty much how I do most of my lives. So great to see you, Shannon. Great to see you, Matt. Great to see you, Robert. I think Lauren might be still fishing around in the background. And anyone watching this on a replay, yes, the Lauren is there still. Have a great night. Yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm going to pack my bag too. I don't have to leave my room till like 12 o'clock, which is great. So anyway, guys, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys. And Robert, have a look at coming to Flores, because I don't think it's very expensive.